Yeah, very good. Yeah.
I'm going to use a sleep turn.
That's good.
It's really cool. Yeah.
How good is that? So fancy. Oh, I can't see.
Hello, Mr. Church.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you. Tēnā koutou katoa. Tuarua ki ngā mate haere atu rā. E mihi ana te mana whenua o Ngāti Toa me Taranaki whānau. Kia tātou e tau nei kia ora. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Welcome to April Creative Mornings. It's nice that we have some people showed up today because I maybe foolishly picked a day after a public holiday before a weekend, but that's okay. I'm on leave today, so I'm very excited. So for those of you who have not been before, and I do see some new faces, every month for Creative Mornings there is a global theme chosen, and this month the theme of spicy has been chosen, and that was chosen by our illustrated by Sophie McTeer. So I've got a little synopsis that goes alongside this spicy piece of artwork. Oh yeah, that's hot. When you're cooking, spices add flavour, depth and complexity to an otherwise plain culinary dish. Spicy tools interact with receptors in our mouth and can trigger sensations of heat and even pain. Can you handle it? Being open to trying new and bold tastes is a good lesson for bringing daring and originality into all our creative endeavours. As they say, variety is the spice of life. Spicy can also be exciting and suggestive. A spicy comment or joke is provocative or controversial. Such spicy takes often challenge conventional beliefs and ignite strong, passionate reactions from people. So how can you make your work and approach to life a little spicier? Let's bring the heat. It's a very spicy word description for you. And just a reminder to tell your friends about us, share about us on the social medias and all that jazz. Bring someone along next time. And if you need a little Creative Mornings fix in between our monthly events, there are field trips. So if you're signed up online to get our email subscription newsletters, you should also be getting information from Creative Mornings itself, so the Creative Mornings HQ. And each month there's heaps of field trips which are online, quick classes, you learn heaps of random things. It's a very, very cool time. And as always, a wonderful shout out to our sponsors. Hey Jules! Hello! Wonderful 257 for this space. So Sarah is not photographing our event this morning, but she has been absolutely wonderful in organising our little group of photographers. So we have kind of a different photographer for each month. So this month we have Arthur, who's over in the corner. It's kind of in the dark at the moment, but that's okay. Hi, welcome. We have Andy from Hype Entertainment. Don't know where Andy's got to. There he is. Yay! Ethan will be with us next month. And then we've got Libertine Blends for our delicious teas, Coffee Supreme for your coffee this morning, 6 Barrel Soda for our speaker gifts, All Good Oat Milk for our delicious delicious milk for our coffee, and Colourcraft for your little name tags. I must get some new ones shortly. Bad Baker for your breakfast biscuits if that's your vibe, and Wellington sourdough for our beautiful toast. Now, I just want to do a quick new sponsor shout out. So we now have a gluten-free loaf from Dough Bakery, and it is, by all accounts, quite amazing and very unlike regular gluten-free bread. Full of seeds, deliciousness. I don't know if you folks remember, but Mia spoke with us a couple months back from Dough Bakery. And then, obviously, the 40 Thieves peanut butter. So all they want to do is have a bunch of photos of their beautiful peanut butter being consumed and enjoyed. So that's a lovely little collab as well. Shout out to my amazing volunteers. I got the breakfast crew making you a wicked breakfast every month. Obviously everyone that is part of this group is a volunteer, so thank you so much for your time and energy. I could not do it without you. If you want to help out or be a volunteer, flick me a message on this email, DM us on Instagram or Facebook, or just come and have a chat afterwards. I'll be about. Obviously follow us on the socials. You may or may not talk to me on Instagram. Sometimes it's Laura, sometimes it's someone else. You never know who you'll get. And without further ado, we welcome to the stage our wonderful speaker for today. So Sanit is a costume designer and maker, currently working at Weta Workshop and also on his own wonderful cosplay journey. So a big round of applause to Sanit Klamchanuan.
Seems so formal being up here.
I know.
College talking assembly again. So when it started, obviously spicy is the theme of the month, and my kind of like username is Spicy Thai Design. That's my name. So the name came about because back in uni I loved to cook, and just one day I cooked extremely hot curry for a bunch of friends, and spicy Thai kind of stick. So when it started, currently working at the workshop. Been here for 10 years now, working in the costume department. Pretty cool.
Could you speak up a bit, please?
Yeah, sure.
Sanit?
I'll try to.
Cheers.
Cool, so where it all starts. I was born in Thailand. I used to love watching cartoons back in the days, and Mum would tell me a story where I watch a cartoon like Dragon Ball Z, for instance, and the show's finished, and I'll sit there and I'll draw all the characters, all the actions that happen on the show. Moved on to 1991, moved to New Zealand as a young boy. Obviously, trying to fit into the Kiwi culture, experience the new culture kind of stuff. During college, working college up the street down there a bit more. I love drawing, I love art. I can't do maths, I can't spell, so I knew that art was going to be my thing from a really young age. Went to art school in Wanganui, studied printmaking up there. Obviously, as I said, being a young boy, I used to watch a lot of Japanese cartoons, coming here, reading a lot of American comics, DC Comics, Marvel Comics, Image Comics. It wasn't until I was 21, going back to Thailand, I realized how cool my Thai culture was. And my kind of art really changed from being so westernized Japanese to more Thai. So obviously with the piece down the bottom there, is my Thai and Kiwi kind of interfighting, and my Thai and my New Zealander. Who am I? This one here is about we all wear a mask. You meet someone for the first time, you're meeting their barrier, their mask. And once again here, just me taking off my mask, realize that I'm Kiwi and I'm Thai, just me being myself. So after art school, getting out in the real world, I also loved watching cartoons, watching movies, and the big inspiration was The Lord of the Rings, obviously. A little funny story, for seventh form, for my design project, I did The Hobbit for my design project. And a friend of mine said, let's go to Wellington, let's go apply for Lord of the Rings. I'm like, what the hell is that? I had no idea, so I skipped the whole that, so kind of sucks. Oh well, I'm there now, it doesn't really matter. So John Howard and Lee was a big inspiration. My drawing style went from highly manga, highly American, to more pencil drawing and stuff. And there was a movie as well. It's a Thai movie. It's kind of like really Thai movies before then was really cheesy. Really, the costume wasn't that great. But whereas this one here, it had a Lord of the Rings kind of feel. I seem real, the story seemed real. So after I watched Lord of the Rings, I started to do my own little Thai concept in a Thai movie I could make one day. So I started drawing, and obviously I wanted to be an illustrator. So I started to practice my illustration, computers and stuff like that as well. Also did some exhibition. This is the first one of 3 I did. Of this one here called Kiwi Thai, just exploring being Thai, being Kiwi as well. Alright, so this was the maker's career kind of started it kind of started from just go on YouTube one day and see a guy making a halo gun using styrofoam, which is like installations for walls and stuff like that. So I start buying the material and just start giving it a go. I never thought that I was going to make stuff. So I started doing commissions around New Zealand, around all over the world, America, Australia, Europe, that kind of stuff. How it all started. Pretty cool. Making costume. So my first costume ever was the top one there. I worked at Telecom, which is Spark now, for 9 years before I started at Twitter. There was for a Christmas party. The theme was hero and villain. And Judge Dredd just came out, so I made myself a Judge Dredd costume. The leather jacket, that was all duct tape. I can't afford leather, so I had to duct tape all each other. The helmet was just a cheap soldier helmet from a $2 shop, which I put paper mache around the side. The foamy bit is just like camping nets. And the gun is a wee gun with some cardboard on it. Then obviously discovered with the workshop, I want to apply as a concept artist. I realized my drawings were pretty good, but the proportion wasn't quite right. And then if I were to make a piece of armor, they can't move in it because my portrait is too big or the chest piece is too wide. So after talking to a few friends, I decided to make a costume. If I make a costume, then my drawings will be better. When I apply for the workshop, my drawings will be at least 8% accurate. So I made myself a first Thai Spartan, one at the bottom there. So it looked pretty cool. War to Armageddon, met some guys at the workshop. I'll tell a story. Building relationship. For me, I saw the best way to get to the film industry is to meet people in the film industry. So I went to the Big Idea website and I found Kim and Warren Beaton here, who did both work with her at the time, which I didn't know. But Kim is a sculptor, and she loved making big sculpture. And Warren is a project mad scientist. If you guys seen Back to the Future, Doc Brown, that's Warren pretty much. So he made this material called power tire. It's a concrete-based material that has fiber running through it, so it's super strong. And they were making Grandpa Dragon, which is at this Wellington Zoo now. You guys seen that? Yeah. So I volunteered my days for a couple of days there to help them out, and we got talking about where the workshop. I said, I work there right now. Let's talk about your portfolio. Let's talk about how you get to the workshop. And I also make the archway at Kaitoki, the elf archway. So I helped out a few guys as well. Ted Guy, he used to do a local tour, so he made that archway. And while I was there, I also made my mum a 60th birthday present, which is a Thai naga out of the Thai material. It's not bad for a first sculpture ever, right? That's it as well. Took some classes at Massey that was run by Paul Tobin, who was a concept artist and Rita as well. So I was getting out there, make sure I talk to the guys in the industry, get their feedback, make sure that I know what I'm doing. I want to try and get into the workshop. Cool. Fast forward to 2012, working at Spark down the road, Wall Street at the time. Guys that I met through Warren and Kim say, look, we're working on Spectral right now, we are real busy, we need guys to come and help us work. So I took 4 days off work, and I've never left since. So that's pretty cool. So Spectral was the first one. I started in the paint department, just helping out, masking all the props, and painting all the detail, that kind of stuff. Then went on to work on the Great Wall with Matt Damon there. So that job was one of the most craziest one I've done while I was there. So we did under a 100-hour week in 6 days. We did a 25-hour day as well. That was pretty crazy. So that's pretty much a good introduction to how things used to be with the workshop. It's kind of changed a lot now. While I was there as well, it was really important that I upskill my costume making skills, because I told myself when I'm a writer, that's not just a job. I will make sure that I keep doing my own thing. I don't want to make it a 9 to 5, get sick and tired of it. So I kind of see writer as a school. I'm going in to learn, This is my chance to learn from the business, and I'm not gonna stop there. So I was roaming around, then I went to the costume department and I found a gentleman called Bryce. Bryce, he does most of the prototyping with the armor that we make. And the material we use is called black foam, but it's like cushion insulation again, that can be cut really thin, and it's like almost like foam, but it holds shape. Where with normal EVA foam, it kind of bounces up again. This foam here, once you cut it, heat it holds shape, so it's really nice for making prototyping armor. So I made myself an airborne dwarf while I was there. Pretty cool. And I was going to America for a convention, and I happened to walk past pretty much the workshop supervisor's office, and had a picture of the Power Rangers on the wall. I was like, I'm going to be cheeky here. I said, hey Rob, are we doing Power Rangers? He said, yeah, we might be. Can I go to costume? Normally it's quite a big leap to go from department to department. I thought I'll give it a go. I make costume in my free time. I like doing stuff. I make the airborne dwarf. It's a chance I can jump ship and go to costume for this project. So when you come back from your trip, we'll talk about it. So I came back, got email, please report to the costume department. And the first costume I made was the Red Ranger. So obviously, being in 90s boys, used to love watching Power Rangers and used to run around primary school being, hey, Tyrannosaurus Rex! So for me it was pretty surreal, working on my favorite character. I was like, oh damn, I want to disappoint myself, I want to disappoint the fan, I want to disappoint the work, so it was cool, it was quite daunting as well. So my main role there was to use the black foam to make a prototype for the armor, so the 3D department can scan and work with magic from there. While I was doing that, I worked on Ghost in the Shell at the same time, with Scarlett Johansson. So that's my first experience on set. So it was pretty cool as well.
Sorry, first experience?
On set,
Thank you.
down Stone Street. So it was pretty cool to be there and see the stuff we work on being used. Just stand behind the camera and see what they're doing. It's a cool experience. Then we're on to Thor Ragnarok. Once again, did all the prototyping and the armor. I was lucky enough to do some trimming on Hulk's helmet. That was pretty cool as well. Obviously, a few more after that, but Mulan was a pretty cool highlight. Also being part Chinese myself, and to work on a live action Disney movie. So our job was to make most of the armor in the movie and make some of the props as well. So, obviously being Asian, they were using me as a model to send pictures to production every day. And one day, Richard walked past the photo studio and, oh, you look amazing in costume, go be in the movie. It's shooting in Queenstown, you'll love it. I was like, I heard stories of extras in the line here all day doing nothing. I'm an active person, I can't do that. So I said, nah, I'm fine, thanks Richard. But 2 weeks before the shooting started, and they're going to start, I'm like, what's the chance of making the costume being in the movie? So I find out who was the casting director for extras. Sent an email, hey, my name is Sanit, I work with the workshop, I'm Asian. This movie. And she's like, oh, can you please see through some headshots of yourself? And I said, oh, let's look at that. Look at the photo from production, that's me in the costume. Yeah, so you can't see there, but it's like, where's Wally, Asian style? I'm in there somewhere. So it's pretty cool. So I was lucky enough to be down south in Queenstown for about 5.5 weeks. And we opened as well. Wearing the costume that I made, fun with the weapon I made as well. I described it to one of the stunties that this is like being a 9-year-old again. When I was 9, put a bucket in my head, had a wooden sword in one hand and a trash can lid in the other hand, and pretend to be like soldiers. That's pretty much us for 6 weeks. Other projects, so also like we made a 4.5 meter high gorilla out of that power material again for a rich billionaire up in Auckland somewhere. Apparently he's got his barbecue between the two. Why not, right? Why not? For the opera, Don Giovanni is lucky enough to be the head of this project here, so we made sort of a puppet where he'll walk out as he comes down and head will lift up as well. Got to do some carving. Obviously, did some work for the World War I exhibition department as well. So all the rock work that you see, there's myself and Masa carving out of polystyrene. For Unleash up in Auckland, it was pretty cool as well. So I'm quite lucky where I'm able to work in different departments with it. My personality is I want to get involved in everything. I don't want to miss out. See something cool happen, can I give that a go? It's pretty cool. So other opportunities, obviously I'm super lucky to be able to travel the world, going to conventions for winter and for myself as well. Off to Switzerland again in 2 weeks to convention in Basel, so pretty cool. Obviously get to involve my art, get to improve my drawing skills and stuff like that. It's really important, and my costume making skills. Got a book out, believe it or not. so it's super crazy that I've written a book called Cosplay for You. So basically it's about getting my journey of like putting my culture into my art, rather than just making a costume that's out there. I want to inspire guys to put their culture into their costume, not just copy it. I'm into teaching now. I've been teaching at Troy for the last 4 years. I'll go in for a couple of weeks and I'll show the students some props and costume how to make prototype out of cardboard. Because cardboard is such a great material, it's free. So especially with how the economy are these days, mums and dads, the money's not quite reaching out as it used to for little kids doing stuff like cardboard. It's super trying to get the kind of creative vibes going. So yeah, that's pretty much me really. You want to go any questions at all?
Would you be able to walk us through some of the props?
So we'll start here. So last month we went up to Palmy to do a little course with kids making cardboard helmets. So this is my one. So it's kind of like a Romanish gladiator kind of helmet, really. So as you see, I'm trying to get back to the roots of making costumes. Like people see us cosplayers using the 3D printers, using the molding and casting and kind of stuff. But for me, the essence of making is this guy here. I want to take it back to the roots where it started. And as I said before, it's so hard to make money stretch these days. I don't want parents to feel pressure to buy their kids the most expensive material. Because I go to convention every year, and I'll get parents come with their kids. Like, Mum, my little girl's 9. She loved making stuff. What should I use to start it with? And I'll say cardboard. They'll give me a weird look. Cardboard? Do you use cardboard? What stuff do you use? Instead of I use foam and water, because they can be quite expensive. Whereas cardboard, you go to the supermarket, get cardboard. It's free. If it doesn't work, throw it away. So it's good for recycling as well. Sorry. Actually, just pass it around. There we go.
How do you mold them? Like, do you wet it first?
No, I just paint it around my knee. What's cool with cardboard is you can break it. So I'll break it up, get it nice, flexible, so it's not rigid anymore.
Yeah.
You can shape it, any shape you want. This one here, so once again, there's cardboard inside there. So this was my prototype, and I was going to make it out of foam, then I got lazy. I just put a material called warbler. It's like a thermal plastic that it kind of sticks to itself. I just put it on top and detail it. And all the plating, that's just all EVA foam. Because I was taking that costume to Switzerland, weight was really important. I want to make sure I keep the weight down as much as I can. So. Then we got this guy here. This is my latest one. Which is that guy there. So I got sick and tired of people told me the cardboard doesn't work, so I made the whole costume out of cardboard. So the Witch King is all cardboard, believe it or not. It was supposed to be just a quick weekend project just for fun for the anniversary of Lord of the Rings last year, but it got so much love online, I decided to just see how far I can take it. So the band brace is just normal cardboard, Then the fingertips there fill cabinets or Weet-Bix box cardboard. I love my Wheatie Bites, and the cardboard is so good. So, and I just covered the whole thing with tissue paper and PVA glue, wood glue. So when you stipple PVA glue onto any texture, you get a nice metal kind of look. This way, good outside. Right, go this way. So yeah, that's stuff there. So, and see, like, I'm trying to do stuff you can do at home as much as I can. That's why you don't see me doing much 3D printing, much molding, much casting, because not every household can afford that kind of stuff. And using EVA foam is great, but you need toxic glue. So, normal like 5-year-olds, 9-year-olds, I'm going to expose that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to keep it as basic, as old school, as easy as I can. Cool. Ask me a question.
Yeah. Great.
Anything else?
So when you were told you were going to make a Power Ranger costume, and it's your favourite Power Ranger?
Yep.
So what was your first thought?
Damn. It's kind of there was that whole like I'm acting cool in the outside, but inside I was like, oh, this is so good. Normally when I start a project where I have some kind of like emotional attachment to it, I'll spend 5 minutes just to like get my fanboy moment out, enjoy it, embrace it, breathe it in, okay, let's get back to work now. So yeah, so that was pretty daunting and cool at the same time. As I said before, being such a big fan, and I know how much fan base Power Rangers have in the world, it was a big weight on my shoulder. But it was cool. It was cool and fun to do it. It was working first.
When you went from it being something you were doing outside of work to it being your full-time work, did your relationship with the creativity change?
Yes and no. As I said before, it's fueled me a lot more. It made me want to do more, want to just try everything. There's one costume that I made, which is not up here, is like Thai. You guys know the game Destiny. There's a class called Titan. If you go to my Facebook, there's maybe 250 pictures there. Every time I learn something, I'll change that costume. As I said before, I do rigid as a school. I'm going there to learn, and the more I learn, the more I apply that to my own costume or concept at home. So yeah, I guess it changed a bit. It's really like we just lit the fire with me to like want to do more, want to practice more, want to try as much as I can.
It's really cool to see the outcome of all your work, but it'd be interesting to know in your role, what is the most challenging, difficult thing in your job?
Well, obviously, the more challenging one is obviously we work on something and it stops. Had it a couple of times now, work on it, like, oh, this is going to be awesome, and then we just get told to stop. That's probably the hardest thing. And obviously, like, not knowing how the fans are going to take it. As we all know, sometimes your costume might look beautiful, but what's the story is going to be, what's other stuff going to be, so that's quite daunting as well. Or you get feedback online, oh, this movie sucks. I said, oh, it's still not that great, but still, the costume's cool. Yeah, that's probably the hardest part.
How often would that sort of happen, or
when is it? Would just stop?
Yeah.
A lot recently. Wasn't much a little while ago, but also since COVID happened with 2 or 3 that kind of like got told. I guess the studio they are picking and choosing which one they're going to obviously promote, go put money into, if they're not quite sure it's not going to work. So.
Sorry, just to continue. If it stops, does that mean that you no longer work for a time, or do you get moved on to another project?
Next project. I'm super lucky now where most people are contractors. For the last 2 years, I've been made employee, so they have to keep me around. So, so sometimes I'll be sweeping the floor just to keep me around. So that's so good. Yeah, cool. But again, like when I was a contractor, it was super hard. Because once the project finished, or when it's coming to its finish, you get a bit cheap. What am I going to do next? I don't have work. But then again, I'm lucky that I'm versatile enough that I can go to tourism, take a tour, for instance. I can go do some mold making. I can go do some painting. So I'm lucky that way. more questions?
Is there like much shift in the industry, from handcrafting to 3D modeling,
Yeah, like,
and printing?
and like most newer employee who get employed now, they're mostly in the 3D department these days. The pipeline of prototyping is kind of getting smaller and smaller. We still need us to make sure the human body is so weird, right? You have to make sure it's moving quickly. But most stuff now is going through 3D now, 3D modeling, 3D printing. It's just faster. It seems faster sometimes.
Is there a project or a piece of like art that you're really passionate about that you really would love to see you could work on?
Done quite a few. I've ticked off quite a few on the list now. We've just done 3, which is super legacy. Like for me, it's like 80s, 90s. Wow, I can't say what it is, but like that's pretty cool. I like it. That's like fanboying for at least half an hour before I started. And during making. We'd love to do stuff for Star Wars. We haven't done Star Wars yet. We did some for the Obi-Wan Kenobi, a lot. I would love to do some stuff for Star Wars. And I'd love to go to Thailand, work on Thailand. I actually got a little story. During COVID, you know how there was the 10 boys got stuck in a cave in Thailand? There was a Netflix series that came out. Got an email from the costume department. So the director went online, Googled Thai armor, and my Thai costume came up. He's like, oh, I want that costume for the show. So got talking to her for about an hour. They shouldn't realize she was from New Zealand. So, can you come over in your costume? We'll pay you to be on set. You dress the actor up. New Zealand, I can't just fly over. So that was good. Yeah. That would be quite cool.
Yeah.
Never mind. Next time. Next time. Anything else, guys? You got one last one.
Any other questions? No. Everyone's like passing around the gauntlet.
If you got any more good people for the world, just come on.
One more question. What inspired you to write your book?
Why? Well, basically, the CNT publisher, they started doing like a cosplay line because they realized how cosplay is really become popular now. So they started with this one book by Jilla and Amanda, and the book went really well. So they asked her to pick 6 cosplayers around the world that they can approach. So they had to approach me. Yeah, so writing a book was never a thing. I can't spell, as I said before. I'm terrible at grammar. So when I asked to write a book, I thought, what topic am I going to do? I always want to have a point of difference. That's how I make stuff. And there's never a book explaining the mindset behind crafting. There's always a how-to book, like step by step, do this, do that. And for me, this book is pretty much almost half and half. Half explaining my background, my reason why, and my process, and down the back there was some tips and tricks. So as I said, like I want to obviously get guys to put their culture into their armor or their costume, get guys to express themselves. You think of yourself as artists. Why go and copy Iron Man? Why go and copy Spider-Man? Make a version that expresses you.
Cool. If there's no more questions, we'll give a big round of applause. Very cool. Thank you so much. Awesome. And if there's any extra questions, you'll hang around for another 10 or so minutes here. So come on up, have a chat. Make sure you get your props back, your costume back. I see a waving hand. Awesome. So our next event will be on the 31st of May, and we'll be here again. And we've got Malcolm Morrison, who is a improviser and theatre creator. So he's going to be taking us on a little bit of a journey as to how he has created his most recent horror comedy improv.
Cool.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Woo! Yeah. Woo!